No look. Bibby to Weber. Down the lane. Flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis. A two-hand rip. A brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake.
Look, anybody who's followed the Kings knows that this year, when you know going into a game that they're going to win, they often find a way not to win. And when you think, oh, they don't have much of a chance tonight, they find a way to stun you. So I am very optimistic about the Kings' chances in Boston tonight. Does that make any sense? Let's find out. Joining us from San Francisco, where he's getting ready for his TV duties, Kyle Draper. Kings got this one, Drapes. Huh? Hello?
I hope so, man. I already have people from Boston texting me, "Where you at, Drapes?" Let me pull out my phone and tell you exactly what somebody said. He said, "Who's broadcasting tonight's game for you guys?" I said, "It's Mark Jones, Boston." And so I wouldn't like more than my Sacramento Kings to shock the world, right? Like Muhammad Ali said back in the day, shock the world tonight against the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, this is it's personal for you, isn't it? Just like it was personal the last time these two teams played. That one stung a little bit for you.
Yeah, it did. And, I'm still a little hurt over that. I mean, but Whitey, let's keep it real, man. I've said it earlier this week. This 2-game stretch last night and tonight, I wasn't optimistic about. The way the New York Knicks play, they play a physical style of basketball. They junk it up on you, and that's exactly what happened last night. And in this Celtics matchup, even without Jaylen Brown, even without Derek White, the Celtics team, man, it's the style of play I just don't like. And they seem to have our number, having won, the last 5 all by double digits. And so this is going to be a tough one, man. I would love, like I said, if our guys come out fired up. But as we saw last night, I'm not going to overreact to the first quarter. It's a 48-minute game, and the Knicks proved that. The Knicks outplayed the Kings over the last 3 quarters. And so I know they, were on fire from 3-point range to start, but you got to play a full 48 minutes, man. And so I drove down to San Francisco today. I crossed the Bay Bridge, and now the sun's out here and everything, because I was in a bad mood after last night. So I'm hoping it turns around today.
Yeah, so we know that last night the Kings, they led by 21, but they were outscored in the second half, 68-49. And I've seen and heard differing opinions on the game last night. It's a great point you made that, you know what, they were up 21 in the first half, but that's the NBA, especially on the road. You hang on. That doesn't mean you're going to win. That doesn't guarantee anything, as Kings fans know too well. My question for you, Drapes, in your mind, watching that game, the Kings had that big lead. Did they kick that one last night? Did the Kings blow one last night, or did the Knicks beat them? Because to me, the Knicks beat them.
I think the Knicks beat them, and I don't think there's anything, that the Kings didn't do in that game. Missed shots, maybe, defensively. But that's what the Knicks do, man. They sort of muck it up and they make life hard. I mean, you got to get it from the mud when you play them. And so I give the Knicks a lot of credit, man. I thought Tom Thibodeau did a great job. I thought Jalen Brunson did a phenomenal job giving up the rock, not forcing it. Only took 20 shots. Our guy De'Aaron Fox took 26. Jalen Brunson took what the game gave it, and I feel like, and we'll talk about this in Drape's takes coming up in just a little bit, but I feel like the Knicks won this game, not with their physical play, but I think their basketball IQ last night was really high, and you got to give them a lot of credit.
Yeah, I know Mike Brown, and again, I don't want to step on Drape's takes coming up in just a moment here. I know Mike Brown said, look, long story short, he said, we doubled Brunson, we got him to give up the ball, and then he said, tip of the cap to Josh Hart, who just destroyed the Kings last night. Little bit of good news, maybe a glimmer of some good news. Apparently, Malik was talking to Chris Biederman from the B, and Malik indicated it's possible, and you don't want to put any timeline on anything, but Malik says possible he could be back before this season is done. Of course, there's a lot involved in that. How long the Kings will be playing is one thing, how he's feeling. So that at least I think gives Kings fans and the team a little bit of hope going forward, Drapes.
Well, I mean, think about this, Whitey. We got 1 week left to go in the season, realistic. Kings are on the verge of being a play-in team. And so I understand that's exciting, Malik news, optimistic, but we got to get there first, right? Like, we got to get out of the play-in, got to force a 7-game series and hope maybe at the end Malik comes in with that. And so that's good news. But, man, these games and these losses are piling up. And it's not about, it's the timeliness of these losses because everybody else is playing well, too. Phoenix has hit their stride. New Orleans, sure, they've hiccuped a little bit, but Dallas has hit their stride. And so I know it's optimistic. Yeah, Malik might be coming back, but I'm not thinking about that right now. Whitey, I'm trying to get wins, big dog.
I'm just trying to find something positive because, as you say, tough one tonight, tough one last night. And look, here's the fact of the matter. If Boston wins tonight, which most expect them to, if Boston wins and then the Lakers win tomorrow and they play Cleveland, so that's far from a foregone conclusion. If that were to happen, the Kings would be in ninth. So forgive me, Drace, I was just maybe I'm grasping at straws, trying to find something positive to cling to on this Friday. That's all.
Yeah, and before tomorrow, right? Like, I guess today is the last day that we can paint a rosy picture, if you will. But they may shock the world tonight. I don't know, but I'm not liking, the schedule down the stretch, the way the Lakers are playing. Everything's too bunched up right now. It's making me nervous, man.
Yeah, so we got Drapes in San Francisco for his TV duties, and then the Kings and the Celtics this afternoon. Then, of course, that's why our show today is only going to be an hour long. And this is, we look forward to Kings basketball, look forward to having game night on. But Drapes, we've had so much to talk about the last 2 days, and we've been limited to the 1 hour. But, everyone's still around here, still talking about the A's and what's going on with the A's move. And it's still obviously still a huge story. Are you hearing anything down there as far as the Oakland end of this story?
No, nothing much. They played an early game today, a 10 o'clock game. They lost to the Tigers, and I'm watching some of the YouTube clips and some of the social media clips from I'm drawing a blank. Dallas Braden yesterday during the game, and I'm just I'm heartfelt for him, man, because the way it's impacting this area, this region, this city, and we talked about it yesterday. On one hand, I'm excited. On the other hand, these are people I work with every day here at NBC Sports California and Bay Area, and they're going to be affected. I'm looking at Bip Roberts, who we had on last week as well. An Oakland native, and our guy High Flyer as well that we talked to, and so many people are going to be affected by this. And I saw the A's put out a little release of all the promotions they're going to have this season to honor the ballpark and honor its time in Oakland, and it just feels empty right now, man. It just feels hollow.
David Sampson, I believe that's the name of the gentleman, a former Major League executive. He was on with Dave and J. Ross today, and he was involved in the whole Montreal Expos becoming the Washington Nationals thing, and he also was involved in the construction of the new park in Florida. So he knows about how these things work. He was saying that the way he sees it, it's possible that we end up with Oakland and Sacramento down the road competing for that West Coast franchise that Vivek's talking about. So, there's some bad blood right now. It could get even more intense. If David Sampson's right, Sacramento and Oakland will be among the cities competing for baseball's next expansion franchise.
Yeah, and I don't like that. It's already, some bad blood right now, and the wound is still, very much fresh. And I could just imagine, when you compete for a franchise like that, the mudslinging and everything. I mean, it it would not be a good idea, to engage in that. But I will say this. I find it incredibly difficult, incredibly hard to believe that Oakland would be considered unless, Casey Pratt threw out a name like Joe Lacob, let's say. Joe Lacob wants to get involved in Major League Baseball. Like, they would have to build a new stadium also. Like would they really go back to that? And so it could get ugly. It could get messy. But if I'm the city leaders of Sacramento, I'm planning now. I'm not waiting for 3 years from now, 4 years from now. It has to start right now. I'm lobbying behind the scenes. I'm getting a realistic gauge. I'm thinking about a ballpark expansion or a new ballpark. Like, I think, if we wait a couple of years or see how it plays out, it will be too late. Because I guarantee you, there's people here in the Bay Area where I'm at right now. They're plotting their next move. So we need to be plotting our next move.
Coming up today, among other things, we're going to get some clarification on what Vivek was talking about as far as a Major League Baseball timetable. We don't know what exactly he and the commissioner discussed, but we do know what Commissioner Manfred has said very recently about baseball and some kind of expansion timetable. So we'll get into that. And when we come right back, don't go away. Drapes Takes are next. You got the Drive Guys on a Friday on Sactown Sports.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the three. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own loan report.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Friday at long last. Thank you so much for being with us. We did have a few issues. Nobody's fault, but Drapes back with us from the Bay Area. Drapes, I think we can hear you loud and clear now. Are you hearing me okay?
Yeah, you got me okay? How does it sound? Am I good?
Got you. Yeah, good to go. Sorry about all that. I will get out of your way because I know Kyle is ready, Nate is ready, and it's time for Drapes Takes on Sactown Sports.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down. Take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
Let me first off say, Sacramento Kings fans, I know we're hurting right now. I know we're down. I saw you guys out there on social media. I saw everybody upset, questioning the coach, Mike Brown, questioning the rotations, questioning the defense. Let me say this. Let me start off by saying this, Whitey. This was already going to be a tough matchup. This was always going to be a tough matchup. And if we want to talk about, we were up 21 and everything, but that was early in the game. We got to play 4 quarters, and that's what this team hasn't done. I'll start on a defensive end. As much as I love Mike Brown and Jordy and those guys, I didn't think they mixed up the defense enough. I think they showed Jalen Brunson way too many of the same look. And in the NBA, you don't think the Knicks were prepared for a trap? You don't think they were prepared for a blitz? And so to me, the blitz works when the players least expect it. They had a whole game to adjust and figure it out. And a good player that Jalen Brunson is, he welcomes that blitz. He doesn't try to beat it with himself. It's sort of like the Warriors with Draymond Green. Once you double and blitz Steph, you toss it to Draymond, and Draymond can spread around and get other people involved. I thought defensively we gave way too much respect to Jalen Brunson, tried to take him out, but then we let Jason Hart, Josh Hart, go crazy. And so I felt like defensively, I wish we could have made more adjustments throughout the game and not just have a one-set defense and then let it rock for 3 or 4 quarters. By that time, it was too late, Whitey.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious. I know a lot of people have been talking about that. Stiles and Watkins were talking about that, and it was apparent just, the eye test. You could see that, wow, that's not working, and they're going to try it again. The only thing I can think of, Drapes, and you know the way Coach thinks better than I do, but I think they just felt like, look, we'd rather have Josh Hart try to beat us than Brunson, and they just kept sticking with that, and Hart just kept making him pay for it. Other than that, I don't know why they didn't mix things up a little more.
Yeah, and I think they just were reacting to what we saw last time the Knicks came to Sacramento. Yeah. And Brunson just crushed us. And so they were hell-bent, all right, Brunson's not going to be the guy.
Yeah.
Well, Brunson was the guy, and then so was Josh Hart. I mean, it's unbelievable. And that brings me to my second point, Whitey, and I've been saying this for weeks now. If our star players aren't one of the top 2 best players on the floor, we're not going to win. Who were the best players on the floor last night?
The 2 guys we
Brunson
just mentioned.
and Josh Hart.
Yeah, not even close. Not even close.
Not even close. And so De'Aaron Fox and Domas, we just need more. We need more from these guys, especially with no Malik Monk. We need more to win. And I thought De'Aaron Fox was great for the first 3 quarters, but he had 5 points in the fourth. That's supposed to be his money time. And so we need our stars to play at a higher level. Everybody's going to wake up and say, where's Harrison Barnes? Oh, we need more from him. Yes, we do, but HB only played 14 minutes and change. Let's not blame this loss on HB. This loss was on a couple of things. Our inability to stop the Knicks, and I believe our stars just have to be better. Because if you're counting on your 4th, 5th, 6th guy to deliver for you every single night, you're not going to be a great team. There's a reason why the Celtics are the Celtics, because Tatum and Brown bring it every single night. And then the other guys, some nights it's Drew Holiday, some nights it's Sam Hauser, some nights it's Al Horford, But every single night, Tatum and Brown are bringing it. Same thing with Denver. Every single night, Jokic is bringing it. That's how our guys have to be. I don't want to look at no darn box score and see a double-double or see a 29, 7, and 7. I need some impactful play from our stars, especially down the stretch, White.
Yeah, Drapes, I thought last night was a good example of what we were talking about earlier this week in terms of Domas and De'Aaron needing not just to put up numbers like you just said, but they need to have an impact on the game. Domas last night, you look at his numbers, they were solid, rock solid. But the Kings needed more than that. And as you say, De'Aaron, the numbers great, but in that fourth quarter, that's when they needed him. And I thought both of them, frankly, they turned the ball over too much last night. I know they're both handling the ball a lot, but I thought that was one of the Kings' biggest problems last night, and they were 2 of the guiltier parties.
Yeah, they each finished with 4 turnovers last night. And it brings me to my last Drapes take, and I've said it from day one of this season. We don't have enough shot creators. Give the Knicks credit. I thought they locked up the offense in the fourth quarter. Some people will say, well, we missed a lot of open shots. Well, the problem is, by the time we did get open shots, we were rushing by then. We were shocked. Oh, man, we got to get it up. We were already being pressed. And so I thought the Knicks did a fantastic job mucking up our offense and making it difficult, making us have to really go through the mud and walk through the mud instead of a crisp, clean offensive game. And so I feel like when you look at it, 32% from the field in the fourth, 22 points in the fourth, I don't care who you play. That's not going to get it done. And so I think the Kings offensively, as we go into the offseason, and if I'm Monty McNair, I'm looking for more shot creators. And that's where I think we missed Malik Monk a lot last night. It's not the playmaking. I think it's in the biggest of moments down the stretch. You got another guy that can handle the ball and create his own shot. I think we're missing that right now.
Yeah, Drapes, I'm with you. Watching the game last night, I just had a sense in that second half that, and it's not the first time I've had this sense, that the Kings they're missing something. And then, obviously you think, well, Malik's not there. And as you say, yeah, they miss him a lot. But I felt like, Yeah, but that's not it. I feel like they need exactly what you're talking about. They need a wing who can put pressure on the basket. It seems like every other team has them coming out of their ears. And I know the Kings were looking for a 3/4, that type of player, and they didn't find him at the deadline. But to me, that's what the Kings really need, is that dynamic guy who's a wing who, when you need a bucket, you can go to. And they just really missed that type of player last night.
Yeah, they did. They do. And when you look at all the contenders in the association, they got a couple of those guys. Denver, I'm going to throw Denver in there too, because Jokic and Jamal Murray are elite at creating their own shot, elite shot makers. You look, the team we're going to face tonight, they got multiple guys. And so, no, man, I'm with you. We need bucket getters, shot creators that when the system, and we heard Harrison Barnes talk about it, we got to rely on the system even more now and everything like that. I don't like that. I think you can rely on the system for about 3 quarters, but when it comes down to the nitty gritty, you got to make plays. And I thought the Knicks made plays last night. That's Straight Stakes, brought to you by Alsco Uniforms. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. I'm frustrated, man.
Mm-hmm.
We should have, we could have had that one and give the Knicks a lot of credit, man. They whatever happened in the first quarter, they fixed it, right?
Yep.
Like the Kings came out on fire, knocking shots down, and then the Knicks, soon as they turned up the intensity, it just became difficult for our team to score.
Yeah, Drapes, what you were just saying about the system, it reminds me of what people say all the time about a plan. Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. Everybody has a plan. Everybody has a system until you play a team like the Knicks and they totally disrupt your system. Then what do you got? And right now the Kings don't have that extra gear. And I thought, and I know Mike Brown talked about this after the game, I thought their transition defense was like embarrassing at times, but a lot of that is because they just turned the ball over. They still have those moments where, someone throws a pass and you see them kind of looking at each other and like pointing, that's some hairy high school stuff. And it happens too often with this team. And it was one of the keys last night. That's when that game started tipping back the Knicks' way, when the Kings started just giving up opportunities. The possession game is so important to them right now. They turn the ball over. It's like you're playing, I don't know, poker or something with somebody, and you just keep giving them extra turns. You can't win that way.
You can't win turning it over 16 times and then giving up 26 points on those turnovers. I mean, it's just, that's easy money for the New York Knicks. Let me ask you this, though, as we, I'm diving into the box score. Occasionally I do that.
Wow, special occasion, because that's not your forte.
That's not my forte. Did you have an issue with the way it was officiated? I'm just looking at the box score because as I'm watching the game, I didn't think it was any problem with the way it was officiated. But they took 29 free throws. We took 12. Is that an issue? Is that an official thing, or is that something because we were jacking up threes and took 42 threes, we're not going to get the benefit of the call on that?
I had the same reaction you did, honestly, watching the game. Obviously, there's a call here or there where you go, I don't know, but I didn't feel watching it like it was really unfair. I do know this offense, when the Warriors used to run it, when Mike Brown was there, they would run into the same thing. They would foul the other team a lot and they wouldn't go to the line. And I do think there's a big part of that is just, you're relying on as many threes. Of course, you're just not going to get to the basket as much. And Mike Brown, after the game, said, you know what he said, Drapes? He said, we should have taken more threes. He said, a game like that, we should have taken more than 50. So he can't have it both ways. He said, I don't know why they got so many free throws. Then he said, we should have taken more threes. I think you're right. As long as you're that reliant on the three, I think there are going to be a lot of games like that where the other team's spending more time at the line.
No, you're right, and you can't argue that. I mean, if you're not being aggressive, I'm looking at points in the paint. The Kings had 40, the Knicks had 60, but the Knicks took 45 shots in the paint.
Yep.
The Kings only 30 shots in the paint. And so if you're not getting to the paint, it's going to be hard to get those foul calls. And so give the Knicks a lot of credit, man. They made Josh Hart. As I was watching this, I'm like, they making Josh Hart look like prime D Wade out there.
Yes.
The way he was playing. Like he was getting to the basket. What, he had 26 points in the paint or something like that, something crazy like that. I mean, the guy didn't take a single 3-pointer. And I go back to what we talked about, the blitzing and the trapping and everything like that. The NBA, these guys are too good to just throw the same looks at them. Trust me, Jalen Brunson has seen every defense imaginable thrown at him. And I felt like, maybe the Kings could have went a little more zone, run some zone out there, because like I said, I feel like they overreacted to that game last month in Sacramento when Brunson torched them for 40-something points. And I thought they were hell-bent on, stopping Brunson, but they didn't even do a good job of that. It's like, you got to take away one or the other, right? Either Brunson's going to beat you by himself or others are going to beat you. They let both. They let Brunson and Josh Hart get going. Dante DiVincenzo scoring 21. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, Mike Brown said after the game, well, sometimes a team like that, it's pick your poison. But the Kings picked all the poison. It's like, we'll take that poison and that poison. Amadrock on the chat says, yeah, the free throw disparity was bad. And then when they did get free throws, they missed them, which is another good point. And, as far as Josh Hart goes, I haven't seen it yet. The shot chart where you have a little diagram of the half court. There's a dot wherever a guy makes a shot from or attempts one. With him, I'll bet you Josh Hart last night, just one big blob right at the bottom of the circle, right? Because it seemed like every time he got the ball, he drove right there and scored.
Yeah, and the fact that, nobody laid any wood on him, nobody took a hard foul.
Touch him up.
Touch him, especially in that fourth quarter. It looked like he had about 5 or 6 layups in a row. Like, he could not get a stop in that. And I was like, my God, fellas, get a freaking stop, one of you. And it's just, the guys look shell-shocked out there. And like I said, give the Knicks a lot of credit. They were super physical. They muddied up the offense. And, it's just a bad matchup. I said it a couple of months ago. There are certain teams that are bad matchups for us. And we'll see a team tonight in the Celtics. Fortunately, no Jaylen Brown, but still, just their style of play. The thing about the Celtics, the way the Knicks are so aggressive defensively, I feel like the Celtics are that way offensively. They put so much pressure on you offensively, and so I'm worried about this game tonight.
Meanwhile, we'll tell you what Rob Manfred actually said about MLB expansion and how it could relate to this whole A's and Sacramento deal when we come back. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Lowe's knows pros need the right tools for every job. That's why we sell the largest in-store selection of Klein tools anywhere. Find new items like the self-leveling green laser level for just $159.98. Plus, shop the Connect Pass-Through Socket Set for $49.98, which you can only find at Lowe's. Shop Klein Tools in-store and online today, because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy happiness. But money did buy your boat, where you find peace fishing, unlike at home with 3 teenage daughters. Because fish never argue about who stole whose crop top, or get mad the other fish used up all the hot water. No, they just swim around, never embarrassed to be seen with you in public. So save money by bundling your boat or RV insurance with home or auto from Progressive. And buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777. Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company. And that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Right now, Meta Chevy saves you $8,000 off MSRP on new 2024 half-ton Silverado LT Crew Cab four-wheel drives after rebates. A Meta Chevy exclusive.
See dealer for details. Ends 4/30/24.
See all the savings at MetaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older-adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
What do you make of this, Drapes, on the chat? Compio, your buddy Compio, weighing in with this. When will we see Len and Sabonis on the court at the same time, especially when Barnes isn't producing on the court? I know you've never been a big fan of that, Drapes.
Yeah, sorry about that, Whitey. Sorry about that. No, zero chance of that happening, man. Zero chance. I mean, yeah, zero. Because here's the thing. What are we saying about Harrison Barnes not contributing? He's not what? Scoring the basketball.
Right.
Are we actually going to put Alex Len and think that's going to be an improvement scoring the basketball? Like, Compio, who, saw Wilkes' first game, got to know basketball better than that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, Compio. Mike Brown went double big like once, and that was against the Milwaukee Bucks, and he did it both games. That's because you got Giannis and the Lopez brother. I mean, you got 2 7-footers. Most teams don't have that. And then you look at a game like, last night, who's Alex Len and or Sabonis going to guard?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Knicks are a small team. It's not like they got 2 7-footers out there. You look at the Knicks, who's he going to guard? Isaiah Hartenstein and Dante DiVincenzo? Isaiah Hartenstein and Josh Hart? Isaiah Hartenstein and Miles McBride? No, so it doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense.
Well, you know how fans are, and I don't know if this is why Compio went there, but I see things on social media and the chat and the text line about how Alex Len last night, hey, he was a +9. So people think, well, if he's +9, that's good to have him out there. But as you say, especially when you have Keon starting and he's not an offensive player, he's giving you a little spark there, but he's not an offensive player. You have to have your spark, your offense coming from somebody out there.
Yeah, exactly. And, you think about this, and we saw it against the Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, Kyrie and Luka basically playing HB and Keon Ellis. Like, if you take out HB, who has played extremely well at times this season, it's not like he's a net zero. He just had a bad game. That's why I only played 14 minutes and change. But if you throw in Alex Len, you talk about a lack of three-point shooting. Now you're asking, who's your three-point shooters out there? Fox and Keegan Murray, and then that's it. And I know Keon can knock it down, but he's not a dead-eye shooter per se. Percentages are looking good. It just doesn't make sense, man. I look at last night's game, Whitey, and we could talk about Harrison Barnes all people want. 0 points, 0 for 2, not going to get it done. 14. But the supporting cast was not the problem last night. It's the stars.
Yes.
Their stars outplayed our stars. Not even their stars. Their second option, Josh Hart, outplayed our stars. That's what this game boils down to, I think, last night.
Yeah, the bench, they shot the ball really well also.
Right.
By the way, all guests and callers come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. So let's go to the phones and let's talk to Scott. Scott, you're on with the Drive, guys. Hello, Sport. What's up, Scott?
Hey, well, I'd like to say right away that, Monty McNair should be held accountable for signing Harrison Barnes to 3 years at like $18 million a year. I mean, I don't think any other team in the league would have given Harrison Barnes more than $5 million a year. And, Monty McNair panicked because he couldn't get Kuzma. And so at that point, he said, I'll just throw a ton of money at Harrison Barnes because I want to at least bring the same team back that made the playoffs last year. Now, if Ronadive is happy with that, that's his money. If he's happy with just blowing his money like that, then fine. But as an owner, I would hold my general managers accountable for bad signings. And the reason you can't trade Harrison Barnes is because of a bad contract.
All right. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that. Drapes, you want to respond to that?
It's just ridiculous. First of all, Harrison Barnes has been pretty good this year. You can't just call up about Harrison Barnes after he has a bad game. I didn't hear you when he had back-to-back 20-plus point games. And so, I'm not going to stand for the Harrison Barnes slanders today because people are doing it after waking up and looking at a box score last night. It's not about that. That last night wasn't about Harrison Barnes. Now, if you want to upgrade the position, go for it. Tell me who you're going to go out there and get. Tell me who you're going to get. Kevin Durant? Who you going to get? LeBron James? Who you going to get? Kyle Kuzma? The Kings tried to do things and it didn't happen. And I will say this about Harrison Barnes. A great guy. We had Doug Christie on a while ago talking about this. HB is playing out of position, first of all. Second of all, and I mentioned this before, he's your fourth, fifth option. I keep telling you guys, if we're looking for Harrison Barnes to be the difference between winning or losing, something's wrong. The difference between winning or losing is your stars got to play like stars, and then on any given night, somebody will step up. One night it's DiVincenzo. One night it's Josh Hart. One night it's McBride. One night it's Hartenstein. And it sounds like the fan base, Whitey, wants Harrison Barnes to be a 20-point per game scorer every single night, and that's just not how it works in the NBA.
Yeah, Scott, I understand your frustration. I mean, we all do, and a lot of people have been unhappy with Harrison Barnes' inconsistency. Where I would really quibble with you, maybe even stronger than quibble, or quibble with a capital Q. I mean, it wasn't a matter of, well, we can't get Kyle Kuzma, so what are we going to do? Oh, Harrison Barnes. It was not a panic move. He was the best option when the other options they were not able to sign. I don't know about you, Drapes. I don't think the Kings really were after Kuzma. There's been a lot of reporting that they were after him a few years ago, but I think it was Sam Amick said the Kings cooled on Kuzma quite a while ago. And I don't know that Kuzma would have been that much better because he would need the ball so much. That's another thing with HB that I don't think people appreciate. So, yeah, he's been up and down this year, and the team has been up and down. So it's maddening, but I don't think it was a desperate signing. And I don't think, when all is said and done about Monty McNair, I don't think the re-signing of Harrison Barnes is going to be ultimately. I think all things considered, it was the smartest move of the moves that were available to him.
Yeah, and if I'm correct, let's remember Harrison Barnes was an early signing, if I'm correct. I think they agreed with HB before it even, opened up, the free agency window to negotiate with other teams, other players. And so HB was going to be a part of this. And at $18 million a year, that's not an awful contract. I don't know what people are saying. Not in today's NBA when guys are getting close to $60 million a year. That is, let's call it what it is, a very movable contract. If you did want to make a trade, nobody's going to be like, oh man, I can't pay this dude $18 million. That's going to break me or anything like that. And so I disagree with the caller there. HB, yes. Did he need to be better yesterday? Yes. But I can point down the line. when Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart are the two best players on the court, you're not going to win, Sacramento. I'll tell you that. You're just not going to win.
All right, we only have a little bit of show left there, so please be patient. We got the calls lining up. We'll get to as many as we can at 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Drapes, you're never going to guess who just popped in and put the headset on.
Oh, this guy's back again? Oh, my God.
Yeah, so we will hear as well from the high flyer as we head down the home stretch here. Truncated edition of the Drive Guys on this Friday on Sactown Sports.
The best team in the NBA all season long has been the Boston Celtics. Today, the Kings will see how they measure up against the league's best.
It's stolen by the Kings. Sabonis gives to Keegan Murray with a hammer. Coming off the dribble. He just accelerated. He exploded. He lifted off, and he rocketed home. That jam.
Check out the Kings and Celtics today at 4:30 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports, and the Sactown Sports app.
If you're in the market for a new or used car right now, or if you just want to go see like what new technologies in the new cars nowadays, stop by and see my friends at Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall before you go anywhere else. As soon as you step onto the lot, you're going to feel like family. You're going to know why they have so many 5-star reviews at Elk Grove Kia and why they're the #1 Sacramento Kia dealer. Like, I love this 5-star review right here. Quote, "I could not be happier. My husband surprised me with my new Telluride. I love it. The staff is friendly, kind, and conscious. Took their time to find the perfect car. Thank you guys for the hard work. Great job. I love my new Telly." There you go. That's just another satisfied customer at Elk Grove Kia. So in addition to all the 5-star reviews, the finance team at Elk Grove Kia has over 100 years combined experience. You know what that means? Financing for everyone. And we know going to the car dealership can be overwhelming, but come experience Elk Grove Kia. They go above and beyond to make sure this is an automotive adventure for you. Check out what's on special and what's on the lot today at elkgrovekia.com, or better yet, come see everything in person at Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall.
When I want to stretch out after a long day, my sofa needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to look attractive and inviting when guests come to visit. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. We spend so much time on our living room sofas that we forget they're a focal point and a hint to our decorating tastes. Right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings sofa sale, you can save on every sofa, including gallery-exclusive custom-ordered flex steel furniture. Whether you're interested in a new sofa, sectional, or recliner, you can choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics. Nobody has more styles and choices than Naturewood Home Furnishings. And when it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop Naturewood for the look you love at a price you'll love even more. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable sofa sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today. and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Welcome to the April Adventure Sales Event at Kia Vacaville. Are you ready for an extraordinary experience? We're excited to introduce you to the pinnacle of automotive excellence, the Kia Telluride. During April Adventure, come and explore the remarkable features of the Kia Telluride. It's not just a vehicle, it's a lifestyle with a seamless blend of sophistication and practicality. The Telluride is ready to elevate your driving experience to new heights. Whether you're embarking on a family road trip or navigating the urban jungle, the Kia Telluride offers unparalleled comfort and innovation. Plus, with Kia's commitment to safety and reliability, you can drive with confidence wherever the road takes you. Don't miss this opportunity to experience the extraordinary Kia Telluride for yourself. Visit Kia of Vacaville today and take advantage of exclusive offers during the April Adventure Sales Event. Your adventure begins here. Kia of Vacaville, where innovation meets excellence. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia of Vacaville for more details.
Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
I get it. You know, we got Nate running the show today, and yesterday had kind of a rough day, and Drapes gave him a C+ for his performance, which was probably a little generous. So, you know, he's been struggling with some things today, not within his control. So now he plays Boston because the Kings are playing Boston, right? Yeah, that might help his grade. Whitey Gleason, we got Drapes standing by in San Francisco. He's got TV duty, and we got the High Flyer standing by.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, High Flyer? What's going on, man?
Big Purr, what's happening, baby?
Hey, man, I'm pissed off about last night, man. What did you see, High Flyer? Because here's the thing, man. And I said it, I spent the last 45 minutes talking about it. We can't let Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart outplay De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis and expect to win. That's to me, that's what I think it boils down. What do you think, man?
This is what I saw, Drapes. I thought the first half, the Kings executed and they did what they had to do to get that lead. They pushed the ball. They played fast. They moved the ball. Everything looked good. They double-teamed JB, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they said, okay, we're going to let someone else beat us.
And that's what happened.
Right? Hart was the guy. He started getting it going. And the problem with that is, once he started getting it going, now he's hitting every shot he throws up. He was getting to the basket and scoring. But what the Kings did in that third quarter, when New York shifted their style of play, Kings didn't shift their style of play. All the threes went. All the threes dropped in the first half. It was great. It was beautiful. We're up 21. Third quarter, those shots didn't fall. And I counted. We shot 11 shots in a row, missed all 11. We only shot 2. Sabonis got a tip, and he went down and scored off of a low post move. The other 9 in a row were missed 3-pointers. The Kings live and die by the 3.
After the game, you may have heard this. Coach Brown said, we should have taken more 3-pointers. That's what he said. He said, we had more there that we didn't take. We needed to take about 50 last night.
You know what? I would agree with that if they was knocking them down. But you could have took 50 and still didn't make them one. Mm-hmm. They took 11 at that particular point. They took 11 shots and didn't knock down 1. So you could have took 35. If you still did knock down 1, it didn't make a difference.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Will has been hanging on. Will, you're on with the Drive, guys. What's up?
What's up, y'all? What's up, High Flyer? What's up, Drapes? Hey, look, man, I know you're going to apologize for HB, but I'm going to say it anyway. HB done had too many of these type of games. during the season. I mean, we can make excuses for a few games, but there have been many games where HB had 1 point, 2 rebounds the whole game. And then here, look, when they was trapping Brunson early on in the first half and they was making him get rid of the ball, they should have kept doing that. Okay, let Hart get his 30, but you can't let Brunson get 35 damn near in the second half. You know, it was just, and then they too soft, man. They don't foul anybody hard. I mean, Hart going through the lane, 6'4", going through the lane, making layups on Domas. You know, that was ridiculous, man. And then Dre said, you were dogging the Clippers the other day when the Kings beat them. And I was happy. I told you, man, don't be doing that. Look, see, they went to Denver and got the win. Look, it's winning time. It's winning time. You see the Warriors, the Lakers, Dallas. I mean, you know, the Clippers. The Kings just don't have that killer instinct and that dog in them, man. That's just all it is. And Brown, I don't know. Look. What was he doing with his timeouts in the second half? He let them catch up, take the lead, then he called a timeout. I don't understand.
Thank you, Will. Gonna let you go just because appreciate it. We don't have a ton of time left there, but they were trapping Brunson in the fourth quarter too.
They still was trapping.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Yeah, you trap Brunson, but Hart didn't already open up the floodgates because he got to the rack 3 times in a row and scored, right? And I'm cool with still take the ball out of JB's hands because he's a killer. But what happened is that once Hart got going, then he started hitting mid-range jump shots. He started posting up and hitting fadeaway shots. You know, he has it going. You can't yes, you want to trap JB, but you also want to keep other guys in check. You just can't open the door for all those other guys to start knocking down shots.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, too, real quick, Whitey, regarding that. You know, and they said it during the broadcast. This was the first half. Brunson was still getting buckets. He was getting to the free throw line. So the trap wasn't even working, and the blitz wasn't even working in the first half, especially the second quarter. What did Brunson have at halftime? Like 18 points, something like that. And so it wasn't even working in the first half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's go to TC real quick here. TC, don't have a lot of time left, but you got the floor here. Drive Guys, what's up?
Man, First and foremost, man, Whitey Drapes, high flyer in the back. What's going on?
What's happening?
Yo.
Happy Friday.
Hey, man. Happy Friday, man. Check it out. So, listen, just like you said, high flyer, let's check it out. You live and die by the 3. To me, as a Kings fan, a diehard, bro, it's cool when it's on, but I don't like it. Everybody's like, this is the way the team is. No, it's not. If it's not falling, bro, do something else. Just like you said, Whitey, when it was talking about the Warriors and Draymond and they couldn't get to the foul. Switch it up, Mike. Like, don't wait so long to call a timeout, but switch it up. I'm cool on this whole, let's put up 63s. No, bro. If we put up 20 and it's not our night, bro, switch it up. Pick and roll. Get downhill. I don't want to hear about no foul calls. This has nothing to do with foul calls. You know why we don't get foul calls? Because we cry about it and we don't try to get foul calls. The refs are not going to give the Kings foul calls, bro, if you're not driving in the lane trying to cause fouls and hearing crying every 2 seconds. No, bro.
Gotcha. Thank you, TC. Appreciate that. Drapes, before we go, I know you got pregame coming up, postgame. Any closing thoughts for us?
Nah, man, let's just try and enjoy this game as much as possible, and we'll be back on Monday. This is going to be a tough one tonight, but like I said, Whitey, I knew this stretch would be tough. We just need to get through this and handle our business after tonight, and we'll be fine.
All right. High flyer.
B-?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nate wants to know what his grade is from you today, Drapes.
I'm going to give him a B- today. Yeah. The link to the show was kind of late. It was kind of late. And so we could have worked out our technical difficulties maybe earlier if Nate would have sent the link a little earlier. That's all I'm saying.
Again, I think that's very generous. Thank you very much. Stick around for the High Flyers. Scott Marsh, Game Night next on Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports. timeshare trap and think there's no way out? Well, Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has helped over 35,000 families out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares, and they may be able to help you too. If you were misled into signing a timeshare agreement, that is a lifetime commitment. If you were told timeshare is a great investment or your maintenance fees will never go up, you need to get the facts about timeshare cancellation. For over 10 years, Wesley Financial Group has been dedicated to helping folks get out of a lifetime of debt by canceling their timeshares. So they created a timeshare exit information kit, which reveals how the timeshare industry works and what your options are for cancellation. Simply call Wesley right now and they will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free. See how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. Again, 800-761-0000.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code HYBRID to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code HYBRID for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code HYBRID for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Ken Korak with our first Green and Gold report for 2024, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the network made for streaming. Well, for the A's to turn around their fortunes this year, they'll have to play better defense than they've shown early in the season. Now, bright spots on the mound. Paul Blackburn went 7 in the last game of the Cleveland series, 3 hits and no runs. And then Kyle Muller in the first game against the Red Sox comes out of the bullpen, 5 1/3, 1 hit, and 6 strikeouts.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic. Must be a tech thing.
But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
It's time for game night, getting you ready for Sacramento Kings basketball.
He's got the bucket!
Game night is presented by Power Business Technology, your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
And a very pleasant good afternoon to you. Welcome into game night right here, Sactown Sports, 1140. Scott Marshall on with the high flyer, Henry Turner. We're going to take you until 4 o'clock today, get you ready for Kings Live pregame. Kings in Beantown tonight, Kings and Celtics, second night of the back-to-back. Kings looking for their first win on this road trip. It's a 4:30 tip-off. G-Man with the call. We'll break it down over the next hour. Of course, we've got to go back, look back at last night. Kings blowing a 21-point first half lead, losing to the New York Knicks last night. That one was painful for sure. It looked like the Kings had a great opportunity to win that game. Let that thing go. That fourth quarter was definitely disappointing for Kings fans. We'll talk about that all and a lot more. Hi, Flyer. How are you on a Friday afternoon?
I'm doing pretty good, Scott. I can't say, I'm all warm and fuzzy because last night was a tough one.
It was a tough one.
But in overall standings for me as a person, I'm doing good.
Yes.
Me as a Sacramento Kings analyst, I'm okay. But me as a Sacramento Kings fan, I'm kind of bummed.
I understand. Kings losing 120-109 last night. So let's first start with the standings, of course. That's the most important thing here. Kings in the 8th spot with that loss, 44-32. They're a full game back of Phoenix and the Pelicans, who are at 45-31. The Mavs, 46-30. Watch out. The Lakers only a half game back now. They're 44-33. But of course, the Kings do have the tiebreaker against them. So it's a game and a half at this point. And the Warriors, watch out, 6 straight from Golden State, winning again last night as well. We'll get into that with the Rockets. That got interesting both on and off the court. We'll talk all about that. But the Warriors have won 6 straight. They're 42-34. And they're still within shot of the Kings. So Sacramento right now could be anywhere from 5 to 10. But right now in that 8th spot. All right, let's go back to last night. Lots of talk about it. Of course, all day long, I felt like we'd been on HB Sports 1140 right now. A lot of talk about Harrison Barnes. We heard it with Styles and Watkins. Of course, there was some conversation with the Drive guys as well about that. Not that it starts and stops there, but obviously a lot of conversation about Harrison last night. The big goose egg did not score in that contest, played 14 minutes. We've been talking about it for a long time, Henry, on this show about Harrison Barnes. And just when he gets 20 points or more, the Kings are going to win. When he's active, when he's taking 10 or more shots a night, Kings are in a good spot. When he's rebounding 7 or 8 boards a game, Kings are looking good. When he gets shut out, doesn't seem like he's out there, only plays 14 minutes, the Kings are in trouble.
Scott, we've seen this movie more than once. And, my biggest question of the whole scenario is, what does the coaching staff think about this?
Mm-hmm.
Because we see it, the fans see it, they have to see it. They have to know that when Harrison Barnes comes out and he is aggressive Harrison Barnes, we just seen it, a la versus the Clippers. Aggressive Harrison Barnes who mind is focused, who says, I'm out here to play. I'm out here to play as hard as I possibly can. Yeah. We see what he can do. It's not a situation of, okay, well, you know what? Harrison Barnes is at the end of his career. He's a little washed up. He just can't get it done anymore. That's not the situation. The situation is one night he'll give you 25. He'll give you 30.
Yeah.
The next night he'll stand in the corner and he'll watch all night long. Now, is that on Harrison Barnes? Or is it on the coaching staff? Because you got to point the finger at one of the two and maybe sometimes both. Who is the problem here? Because it's too much of a Jekyll and Hyde situation.
No question, because on Tuesday night against the Clippers at home, he was great.
I mean, showed you that, whoa, Harrison Barnes still has something left in the tank.
Yeah.
How many times have we said he's not done? Yeah. It's not over for him, because we see him come out and do things that he has done back when he was 25, 26. And then we've seen him just sit in the corner and sit in the rocking chair.
Yeah. If you want to join us, you can. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. You can text us as well. We're up and running in our YouTube chat at Sactown Sports. Join us in our chat for that as well. Is it ultimately Mike Brown speaking with the playing time? Because, I mean, HB played under 15 minutes last night.
The playing time is a part. But I honestly think that, maybe Mike Brown looks at the situation and says, okay, He's played 15 minutes. What has he given you in 15 minutes? And you look at the numbers and he says, okay, this is what I've gotten in 15 minutes. I've seen what this could look like if I give you 30. So let's put somebody else in there and give them those 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly the case. And I had a chance to see the TNT broadcast last night. And obviously, locally, we're lucky with Kyle and Katie. They do a great job. Of course, Mark, when he's here, does an excellent job too. G-Man here. Obviously, nobody better than G-Man on NBA radio basketball. But watching TNT last night was interesting to just listen to the comments. Kevin Harlan and Stan Van Gundy,
because they don't have not one entity in Sacramento. They're going to call it the way they see it.
And Stan Van Gundy called Harrison Barnes invisible. That was the term he used for his performance last night. Invisible.
You know, I wouldn't be upset about what they said if it wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be upset, Scott, if I haven't seen this guy get the job done. Like I said, if he was a guy who done played all of these years in the league and played all of these minutes, which he has, been an Iron Man, all of that, and his game has just eroded down to what he can't give you nothing anymore. But I've seen that isn't Harrison Barnes.
Yep.
When he wants, when he picks and chooses, like, okay, I want to give you something, we know what decision he done made from the very first jump.
Yep, no doubt. Obviously, the Kings got off to a great start. They got the 20-plus point lead. It went down to 9.5, and then obviously the Knicks started rolling in that second half, no doubt about it. A couple of other things, just want to get your thoughts on this. A couple of other things that was being talked about on the TNT broadcast was just how far off Sabonis was playing last night and how that was opening up Hartenstein to make all the assists, that there wasn't any pressure on the ball with Hartenstein when he was at the high post.
The problem I had with that was two things, Scott. Because when you're guarding a guy, because really Sabonis was guarding himself, a big man that they were running the offense through, spread the floor, and you got everybody else cutting back door, doing everything they can to get to the basket. And really in today's game, it works.
Yeah.
So you either got to have to do one or two things. Either you're going to play up on him and pressure him and pressure the ball, or you're going to play so far off of him that nobody can back cut. Nobody can zipper cut, back screens. All of that gets alleviated because you're meeting everybody at the rim. Sabonis was kind of in the middle in no man's land.
Yeah. Hartenstein had 9 assists last night.
That's why it didn't work. He's in the middle in no man's land.
Yep. All right. Third point. Obviously, Kings were blitzing a lot with Brunson, and that's an understandable strategy. I mean, Brunson killed them in Sacramento. He's one of the top scorers, elite players in the league. He still went for 35, but every time they doubled him, they sent Hart to the middle, right? It wasn't like high-low pick and roll. They got Hart at the free throw line, able to attack. He had a season-high 31. The Kings never had an answer for that.
Let me tell you something. Very smart coaching. Because why are you going to send that big guy to the middle who really can't handle the basketball that well? He could pass now. He could facilitate. But the one thing that the Kings did that I thought was a little overkill, they readied Brunson, right? They stunned him, readied him.
Yep.
When Brunson bagged up, Sabonis continued the pursuit. When Brunson bags up, Sabonis, you got to leave.
Back. Yeah, you're hedging and coming back.
You have to get back.
Yeah.
He's bagging up. He's not in attack mode. Yeah. So if the screen comes again, now you're gonna trap again. But once he releases, Scott, Sabonis has to release, and you have to get back to the middle. Who's ever at the middle?
Yep, no doubt. Hart, again, he did it all without a 3-point basket. Got his season high 31.
Because here's another point, Scott. You're double teaming with Sabonis, right?
Yep.
Sabonis is almost at the half court line. When Hart catches the ball, who's guarding the rim? Nobody. That's why I say it's so important that he has to get back, because if you don't, I mean, really, you can't even stay on the double team and leave on the pass. As soon as Brunson bags up, you got to go. You got to release because he's going to make that pass to the middle. And if you do have a guy like a Josh Hart that all he wants to do is get to the basket, if you're standing there, I'd rather see you give him a jump shot because he's not a jump shot guy.
Exactly.
He got it going straight to the basket.
No question. Obviously, those were some takeaways from the game. I mean, the other part that was troublesome was all the turnovers, 16 turnovers last night for the Kings.
That's where the Kings self-imploded. Now, you can't point the finger at the refs. You can't point the finger at the shots not falling down. You can't even point the finger at, the coaches made a great decision. A lot of the Kings' turnovers wasn't even forced turnovers. They were self-inflicted. So when you're turning the basketball over, they're going down, they're getting easy baskets. Now you're getting a New York team that's in transition. It's bad enough you can't stop them in the half court. Yep. It's easy when they get in transition. So you turn the ball over, they get out in transition, they get easy baskets, and we come down and elect to shoot a quick three-pointer, and we're not knocking threes down.
No doubt. And obviously, you mentioned it, but free throws. Obviously, the Kings grossly outshot at the line again. Knicks 20 of 29, Kings just 7 of 12. And that was something Mike Brown talked about in the postgame. He says he's got to do a better job of finding a way to get the Kings to the line more often. I don't know if he was that was his way of talking about the officiating in that game or not.
Scott, here's the problem. The problem isn't getting them to the free throw line.
Yeah.
The problem is them making the shots once they get to the free throw line.
That is absolutely true.
That's the problem.
I agree with that. How does somebody like De'Aaron Fox, who attacks a lot, only get one free throw attempt last night?
You know, De'Aaron Fox.
And he's not a great free throw shooter, so that's a different story. But the fact he's not getting many free throw shots.
He's not getting many free throw shots. But, Scott, haven't we said this? The league is letting a lot of ticky-tack go.
True.
So you're going to have to man up, really.
True.
And be able to take the contact because I'll tell you what.
Brunson was 9 of 10 from line. He got there 10 times.
Do you see how much pressure Brunson puts,
sure.
how much contact he gets?
True.
You know, these are guys who really play physical style basketball. Yeah. Now, the Sacramento Kings got away with some fouls last night. Yeah. I tell you what, I saw Hart go down the lane one time and Sabonis tackled him.
Yeah.
And they didn't call nothing. I'm like, okay, they letting it go on both ends. But if you're going to give it, you can't cry when you receive it.
Yeah.
You got to be able to match it. Sometimes you got to play through that.
I hear you. Kings were up 8 at half after being up 15 after 1.
And you know what? And I was cool with that, Scott. I was like, okay, I was absolutely fine with that.
Okay.
Because they held on. You were up 21, of course. Teams make runs.
Sure.
I was fine with that. You go in, you're only up 8. This third quarter, though, you have to come out and make something happen.
Yep, didn't happen. Knicks a 35-point third quarter, a 33-point fourth quarter. They outscored the Kings 68-49 in the second half. All right, that's our look back at the game last night. It's brought to you by Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Taking a look at the points in the paint. The Kings, again, only 40 points in the paint. The Knicks had 60. This has been a theme. The Kings have been one of the best teams points in the paint over the course of the year, but not of late. Not at all. They've been low 40s for several games now.
Because they've been electing to just stand outside and shoot threes. The three-pointer, I know, is what the Kings do. It's their bread and butter. Yeah. But, Scott, you can't be a one-trick pony, bro, not in the NBA, and especially at this particular time. Because it's going to be certain nights to where it's not dropping.
Yeah.
And you got to find other ways to score. You have to be able to get downhill, get to the defense, get to the basket. And I'm sorry, if they're playing aggressive basketball, bro, you got to put on your big boy shorts and take that hit and still be able to score, and in case they don't call a foul.
No doubt. All right, I'll look back at the points in the paint brought to you by RT Painting, your reliable and trusted painter in the Sacramento market since 1998. Kings did shoot the three well last night. They were 18 of 42, 43%. But your point, they shot over 43s. They're usually trying to get the 40s. So I don't know if that's an extreme number for them or not.
Here's the thing, Scott. They shot a decent percentage. They shot a decent percentage from three.
Mm-hmm.
Over half of those made were in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Look at that third and fourth quarter.
No, it turned.
And look at that third and fourth quarter and see how many threes the Sacramento Kings made.
No, it turned. All right, before we go to the break, Doug has been waiting patiently. Let's bring him in on game night. Doug, how are you, my friend?
Doing well. Thank you, gentlemen.
my concern with the Barnes issue is that he may get touches, but how many of those actually turn into shots? Because if you're passing the ball, that's a touch, but you didn't make an attempt to either get to the basket or take a shot. So for me, that's the information is not true of 100% of what he's doing when he gets the ball. What happened is I would rather have you go in and foul somebody on defense than turn the ball over on offense to give them easy transition baskets. So I'll take you up because you're in foul trouble. I don't want to take you up because you're coughing up the ball. And as you said, they're unforced errors.
Yep.
So what do you do? And it was tough. I think that with what's happened with Sabonis, the two games that we had against Dallas and last night, they're a starter and the guy that comes in behind him. The whole game, Sabonis was having a tougher time getting to the basket because those guys actually defended us very, very well, and we didn't get the sprays out of it. On top of it, you get guys who can't hit shots. Then you get guys, Ellis and Murray, who are in foul trouble, and you have no depth. So it's like if you would have pulled out and won that game, I would have been tickled because you just didn't have the next guy up opportunity.
Doug,
So
thank you
that's
for
all
the
I
phone
have.
call. Yep.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Excellent phone call there. Makes a lot of points. Obviously, Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench, a lot of height. Sabonis, we know when he plays against size, sometimes it is a challenge for him. All right, we've got to get to the break. When we come back, we'll focus in on tonight a little bit more. Obviously, it's the second night of the back-to-back. And, Kings are in Boston playing the best team in the league, although the Celtics are going to be undermanned a little bit tonight. We'll get into that and a lot more. It's game night. It's being brought to you by Power Business Technology. Experience how the power of family can help your business office equipment needs today. Contact them, 844-POWER-BZ, or go to powercopiers.com. We'll be up in the chat during the break as well on YouTube. This is Game Night, Sactown Sports 1140.
All right, we are live on YouTube.
Kyle, it's good to see you. You don't have any Boston stuff for us.
I do not own any Boston memorabilia. I didn't even wear green today. Nothing.
All right. So Henry didn't rough you up after the game last night.
No, he was too distraught.
Exactly. I just walked right past him, man. I was so distraught.
Walked right out of there. Last night, there were a couple interesting stats on the Knicks side. Obviously, it was tied going into the fourth quarter, but by the end of the game, the Knicks had more assists than the Kings by 8, and they had 11 from Brunson, 9 from Hart, and 8 from Hartenstein, I believe.
Yes.
It's the first time they've had 3 players have 8 or more assists in a game all of this season, and I think all of last season from as far back as I could find the stat yesterday. And 34 assists in a game is the most this year by the Knicks in any game where they weren't playing the terrible Toronto Raptors.
Yep, interesting. You're absolutely right about that. Combined, Brunson, Hartenstein, and Hart had 28 of the 34 assists. So that was a problem. They only turned it over 11 times. Of course, the Kings had 26 assisted baskets on 16 turnovers. What do we have going on in our chat room so far?
Well, I was performing open heart surgery on the log to make sure we're good for the Kings game. So I don't know if you addressed this, but our friend Manny was asking, what could the Kings have done in the fourth quarter to kind of, what was the biggest adjustment they could have made in the fourth quarter?
Well, again, high flyer to me, it's like they start turning over the ball. They get rushed a little bit. They don't get to the free throw line. So in these late game situations, they're just not getting the shots they need. That's my biggest feeling.
I feel like they're not getting the quality shot. I honestly feel in today's game, the three-pointer is it. I understand that. But if the three-pointer you've been struggling with, and they struggled that third quarter bitingly, shooting the three, well, you better start trying to get some baskets going towards the bucket, just in case the referee feels generous that he wants to give you a foul. I mean, when you look at the totality of a basketball game, how many fouls get called at the three-point line? Not many. Some, but not many.
True.
So, in order for you to even think about maybe, I can get a foul and get to the free throw line, bro, you got to get downhill and get some contact.
Yeah.
You're not going to get it no other way.
True. And of course, Michael Malone got ejected from a game last night because Michael Porter looked like he got fouled, went down awkwardly. It wasn't called. It set Malone off in that game against the Clippers. And LA able to beat the Nuggets last night. But you're right. There's not many fouls out there on that 3-point line. So I don't know. It's just frustrating because obviously the Knicks had come in, lost 3 straight. They're desperate, right? And you could see a team that was playing with desperation. They didn't have Julius Randle. They got the bad news that he's not going to be back for the rest of the year, but their intensity was just a little bit more, in my opinion.
They wanted to win.
Yeah.
They wanted to win, and they did what it took to win. I actually thought that first quarter and pretty much the first half, the Sacramento Kings did what it took to win.
Sure. They came out hot.
I thought they played good basketball. They got up. The lead got tore down a little bit, but that's what happens when you're on the road.
Sure.
I felt the first half I was good. I'm like, I'm cool. But that third quarter, you got to come out. The game isn't over with. It's only halfway done. You have to finish it.
Absolutely.
.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
All right, welcome back in the game now right here, Sactown Sports, 1140. Scott Marshall on with the High Flyer, Henry Turner. We're here until 4 o'clock today. Kings Live pregame coming your way at 4. Jason Ross and Henry with that. Tip tonight, 4:30. G-Man with the call. Kings lone appearance in Boston. The Celtics, a 60-win team. They're 13 games ahead in the Eastern Conference.
Mm-hmm.
They are rolling. They've got home court wrapped up for the entire playoffs, including the NBA Finals. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they approach tonight, though, because of all of that, with the remaining 6 regular season games, they really don't have anything to play for in terms of playoff seedings or anything else. Jaylen Brown is out tonight. He's going to be resting his wrist.
Right.
Derek White is also out tonight.
Right.
Obviously, the Celtics have plenty of firepower
Mm-hmm.
to still win tonight. They've got Tatum and company and Holiday and Porzingis and great players off the bench. But I'm curious, just in terms of their approach for the last 6 games, I think it's going to be harder for them to keep the same level of focus. We'll see. This is a championship caliber team.
Right.
Maybe I'm 100% wrong about that.
I'll tell you what I think, Scott. You got guys out resting, rightfully so. Boston took care of business. So you have that leeway for you to do that.
Yep.
I honestly think the other starters, minutes will be sporadic. Whether they win this game or not makes no difference to them.
Right.
I think health is more important to them than anything else. That's what makes the New York game hurt so bad.
Yes.
Is because now you're running into a situation in Boston to where they really don't care. So if they drop a game, so what?
Yep.
If the Kings come in, take care of business, get them down, he's going to snatch his main players out. You win that game. The New York game meant everything.
Yeah.
You could be another game ahead. So, we don't know exactly what's going to happen in Boston, but if I had a crystal ball, I can see that scenario playing out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Boston comes out in their approach tonight. Obviously, for the Kings, they should be desperate tonight. They desperately need this win to keep on pace to try and get into a top 6 situation. They say Denver's the toughest back-to-back in the league with elevation. Obviously, they're a championship team, but Boston, if they're not the toughest, it's got to be the second toughest.
Well, I mean, I would say they're the number 1 toughest because
they're 33-3 at home.
Hey, they didn't took care of business at home. The Boston Gardens has been dominant for them. So it's going to be tough. It's not going to be an easy game. Like you said, they're going to have guys missing, but they got so much firepower that they can still, come out and win a basketball game with missing those 2 players. I'm not saying Boston's going to lay down. It's still going to be a basketball game.
No doubt. Obviously, the Kings and their second night of the back-to-back. We'll see how deep they go to the bench. We saw a lot of Trey Lyles, and we saw Sasha last night a little bit more as well. Both of them got in double figures. They got good production off the bench last night for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, decent productivity, but we talked about this. We're down men, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're down big-time scores. Herter is one of our top 5 scorers.
Yeah.
Malik Monk is one of our top 5 scorers. So when you're down two of your top 5 scorers, and then Harrison Barnes goes on vacation, now you're down 3 of your top 5 scorers. So it's going to hurt.
No doubt. And I think we talked about this too. Somehow your big 2, they've got to be your biggest 2. And De'Aaron had a good game, 29 and 7. Sabonis got another double-double, 17 and 11, 7 assists. Those are fine numbers. But at some point, like we saw Devin Booker get 52 after a 40-point effort. You see Brunson 35 and 11. He had a 61-point game against San Antonio. I mean, he's had multiple 40-point games. At this point in the year, you feel like Sabonis and Fox are going to have to carry you.
You know what, Scott? I believe that in one sense, because that's what separates superstars and all-stars from regular players. Their ability to step up when need be and give something extra. But I also feel like it's unfair. It's unfair to ask those two guys to give more than what they're given when you have some guys on the roster that's given less than their average. That's the problem I have, but I understand, the business side of it. You guys should do it. Y'all got them big high contracts. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you get paid to do. I understand that part.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. 10, you've been waiting patiently. Thank you. Welcome in the game night, my friend. How are you?
Hi, Steph Marsh. I wanted to say that, De'Aaron Fox, could this man be fraudulent or something? How is he Mr. Clutch, fourth quarter? Okay, for the highlights last night, he started off the game 3 for 3 3-pointers. That's huge in the Madison Square Garden. Now everyone's going to be like, Fox, man, he's starting off hot, and then it's a letdown at the end, man. You can't deflate like this, okay? So real leader got to finish the job, and the backup got to back him up, bro.
All right, Tim, appreciate the call. Obviously, I mean, Fox is known as fourth quarter Fox, and he led the league in clutch points last year. So there's nothing fraudulent about that whatsoever. Having said that, Fox has not been as dominant late in games this year as he was last year.
Who's going to let you be dominant in the fourth quarter when you just got an award?
There you go.
You just got an award for being the most clutch player in the NBA. Am I going to just say it's not going to happen this year? No. What I'm going to tell my guy is, fourth quarter Fox is engaged. You better engage your defense on him so he can't do that. So, other teams are definitely raring up on De'Aaron. It's not like he's out there and he's not trying to get it done. I won't say that. He's giving it his all. The thing about it is that other teams are making it tough on him.
No doubt. Again, 1-800-920-1140, 916-339-1140 if you want to give us a call. And again, we've talked about the blueprint of how you attack the Kings. You pack the paint, you make it tough on Sabonis, you force him to turn it over. You don't allow De'Aaron to get inside with the mid-range game, especially late in the game. That's how you try and beat the Sacramento Kings, and that's something the Knicks did.
Scott, it's over with right now when you think about how to stop the Sacramento Kings. Our outside arsenal for threes are in street clothes. Kevin Huerter, 3-point shooter. Malik Monk, 3-point shooter. Okay, Sasha and Trey just came back. All right. Who else shoot threes? I mean, Keegan. Keegan can knock down a three, but you pack the paint.
Absolutely.
You pack the paint and you neutralize our Batman and Robin. Okay, De'Aaron wants to get downhill. De'Aaron, he can knock down threes, but that's not his forte. His forte is getting to the middle. Getting to the basket, get into his float game. He could do all of that, but you pack the paint, you guard him and Sabonis, it's a wrap.
Yeah, no doubt. It was interesting last night during the TNT broadcast too. Chris Haynes with the little nugget that things are going better than expected so far with Malik Monk. So I don't think that means he's coming back anytime soon or in the regular season, but that was interesting to hear as well. Hopefully that is the case. But of course, the Kings are going to have to get it done here without Malik Monk. We understand that. All right, we've got to get to a break. When we come back, we're going to go around the league. We'll get you caught up on everybody else, what their schedule looks like as we go into a Friday night here. Another pivotal night in the NBA as the Kings trying to hold on to get into the playoffs here and at least hold their play-in seed of a 7 or an 8. So at least they've got 2 opportunities to get into the playoffs. Game night being brought to you by the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento. There's a lot of kids in our community who need a volunteer outside mentor. Maybe this is you. If you have a heart of service, you want to do something good and help out a kid in need. Consider Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Call 916-646-9300 or visit bbbs-sac.org to learn all about becoming a volunteer mentor. More of Game Night right here, Sactown Sports 1140.
All right. We are live on YouTube. I want to ask you guys something about the Boston Celtics real quick, because Boston right now is obviously best team in the league by a large margin. And I don't know if I would have had the gall to have done what they did this offseason, where they came within 2 games of making the finals with a team that was basically 8 deep. When you think of Tatum, Brown, Horford, Derek White, and Brogdon, and Robert Williams, and Marcus Smart, and there's one other person I'm forgetting. But I don't know if I would have gotten rid of 4. Oh, Grant Williams, that's the other one. I don't know if I would have gotten rid of 4 of those 8 players to bring in 2, former All-Stars in Porzingis and Drew Holiday. But when you come within 2 games of the finals with that core of the team, I don't know if I would have had the gall to move half of them out the door, get rid of the depth on the team, because they didn't really add much else depth-wise, and they're rewarded for it because they're even better this year than they were last year.
Well, the truth is, they haven't been rewarded for anything yet because this regular season means nothing. I mean, they've got the number 1 seed, but if they flame out early in the playoffs, everybody's going to be asking what you just asked right there.
Yeah, and I think that's fair, but do you guys think, I should ask first, do you guys think this is the best Celtics team?
Yes, I do. And the reason I think all those arguments are thrown out the window, Porzingis is healthy, and we knew that he's a unicorn when he's healthy. And Drew Holiday, I don't understand why anybody thinks that losing Marcus Smart was that big a deal when you're going to get Drew Holiday back in return.
Scott, you just hit the nail right on the head, because if Boston doesn't somehow miraculously get Drew Holiday, this basketball club is not where they are right now.
Yep.
I'm with Porzingis is healthy, and he is a very special dude.
Yep.
No one thought that he was going to come in and play the way he's playing. But the thing about it is that when Porzingis came into New York, they was asking him to be a number 1. They wanted him to be an alpha. That was a lot for him. So now you have a guy that has alpha talent being a number 4. He's going to be the best 4 in the league.
And he is.
So that's why they're really striving. And then when you luck up and you hit the lottery, I'm sorry, when they got Drew Holiday, hit the lottery.
Yes, they did.
And that's what makes that team what it is right now.
And in hindsight, they haven't had to give up that much, because basically if you take all the trades in totality, like you can move some second-round picks around, because like the Kings got Colby Jones by trading with Boston, but the bulk of the trade was they got Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis in exchange for Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, Robert Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, a future first-round pick, and what is right now a lottery pick, because they had to give up the Warriors first-rounder this year to Portland. And for those 4 players and 2 picks to get those 2 guys.
Chump change.
But I wouldn't have said that back in October. I would have thought the Celtics would have been worse this year than they were last year.
I disagree with you. I'm with Henry. When I heard they got Drew Holiday, I'm like, this is a championship team.
That changed the whole scenario. Even with Porzingis, you were like, okay, that they got a big 3. That's nice, but who's going to be that X factor for them? And then when all of a sudden you said Drew Holiday went to Boston, I said, oh, it's a wrap.
Yep.
Because he's not a regular X factor. This dude is a 1 or a 2, has been that his whole career. So now you're bringing him in as a complimentary player? Man, your team is deep.
Yeah, and I totally understand that. And now we see it, they have the best record in the East by like 14 games, and they're clearly the favorites to win. And if they don't at least get to the finals, this season would be a disappointment.
Even if they get to the finals, if they lose, it's a disappointment.
If
they're championship or bust, Kyle.
I agree, but if they lose to Denver, I will say you met expectation.
First step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar.
Welcome back in the game night right here, Sactown Sports 1140. We're coming to you live from our Sactown studios today. Kings in Boston, getting ready to take on the Celtics. The challenge can't be any tougher, and the need for a win can't be any more today for Sacramento. Game night brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Check out their full line of luxury vehicles at mbofstockton.com. We'll break down the Kings and the C's in our next segment. Let's go around the league. Again, we are scoreboard watching. We are standing watching. We know all of that. The key games from last night, Warriors winning at home over the Rockets. They have basically put Houston out. Houston doesn't only have a problem. They've got the lottery facing them now because they're not going to get into the play-in situation. Warriors roll at Houston last night, 133-110. And how about this whole thing with Terry Eason? I don't know if you saw that or not, but he was the one who was trolling the Warriors on social media. He came out in his pregame warm-up. He had his shirt on. Warriors come out to play. And he did the Warriors. And, of course, Draymond responded on his podcast before the game. Everything else probably wasn't a great strategy. I mean, the Warriors took care of business. The Rockets have lost 3 straight.
I mean, for me, Scott, it's kind of hard to troll and do stuff like that on social media because we know what social media is. I mean, it just gives the ordinary common man a voice.
Sure.
But if you're going to have a voice, you might want to be on a little bit better team.
You might want to be maybe one of the more significant players, too.
That, too.
I mean, this isn't Jalen Green.
Right.
Trolling.
That, too. You don't want to have to go after Steph Curry when you have Bruce Brown numbers.
Exactly. Exactly.
You have to stay in your league.
It was all a reference to a movie. And I don't know if you saw Steph Curry or not, but he had the reference from the movie at the end of the game as well. Check that out. It was interesting. But the Warriors definitely took notice. They took care of business. More importantly than all that nonsense, they've won 6 straight. They're 42-34. And again, as we look at the Western Conference standings right now, they're only 2 games back of Sacramento. I mean, Kings can look up. They're only 2 games behind the Mavericks, but on the backside, they're only 2 games ahead of the Warriors right now.
You know what, Scott? I will say this. Those 2 teams, the Warriors and the Lakers, if there are any teams out there that really and honest and truly feel like all they have to do is get there and they can get past anybody, is those 2 teams. They haven't been good. They played up and down. They played bad basketball. They played good basketball. But those 2 teams, their identity, I bet if they're playing good basketball at the end and can squeak in, they believe they can get past anybody.
And they're not just squeaking right now. I mean, they're peaking.
That's what I'm saying.
Now. Yeah, they are. They're playing good basketball.
So when I say squeak, I'm talking about if they squeak in to the play-in and just say to the play-in. If they squeak into the play-in, playing the basketball that they're playing, they believe they can get past anybody.
No doubt, and they should the way they're playing right now. Lakers have been playing great basketball. The Warriors are playing their best basketball of the year, too. Mavs winners last night, 109-95, so they keep pace. They're 46-30, and as we mentioned, the Clips winning at home over Denver. They respond 102-100. Jokic had a 3-pointer at the buzzer to win it. It didn't go down. Joker's numbers, 36 points, 17 rebounds, 10 assists. Wasn't enough. Kawhi Leonard did not play again last night for the Clips, but they were a different team than what we saw on Tuesday.
Didn't I tell you they were Jekyll and Hyde? Jekyll and Hyde. They have a team to where they have enough firepower. They can win with one of their superstar guys down. They just have to come together and play the right way. Now, when they're all together and they're playing the right way, yeah, they can contend for a championship. But if their mind's not right, teams like Sacramento, teams like Brooklyn, teams like Detroit are going to come in and smack them.
Yep. All right, let's look at the games tonight. The important ones. The Pelicans are in action. They get San Antonio at home. Zion Williamson day-to-day. I don't have an official report on whether he's playing tonight or not. He banged up his finger last time out against Orlando. Obviously, Wembanyama, as hot as any player in the league right now, averaging over 20 points and 10 rebounds. Boy, that would be big if San Antonio could get a win tonight.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, it would be big for us.
It would be big for us.
You know, wouldn't care what it does for San Antonio and their season, but for us, it would be huge.
No doubt. All right, Warriors and Mavs tonight. Warriors are going for 7 straight.
That's a big one for us.
Huge. Who are we rooting for?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Are you looking forward or are you looking backward right now?
It's both, Scott.
I hear you.
It's both. I mean, this game, either way it go, is going to be big for Sac.
No doubt, because, I mean, you can still catch the Mavs. It's 2-2 in the season series.
That's what I'm saying.
You're a half game up in the conference standings. So as of the moment, you've got the tiebreaker against the Mavs. I think you look forward still, and you assume that you can push upwards.
You know what?
Boy,
I'm with you, Scott. If you're trying to, finish a race, you don't ever want to be in the car that's in front, looking in the back, trying not to lose. So, yes, I would look forward and say, okay, Golden State beat Mavs.
Yeah, you want to be drafting.
Exactly.
Right from behind on that final lap. And then the Timberwolves and the Suns. So with Denver losing right now, you have Minnesota in the top spot, a half game ahead of the Nuggets. Obviously, a huge, huge game for everybody concerned, especially for us, with Phoenix at home taking on the Timberwolves. We thought Phoenix would crack. They haven't yet. They have not yet.
Yep. And you said they played Minnesota tonight at home?
Yep.
This is going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
Because another thing for us, if Minnesota go in and take care of business, it's great for us.
For sure.
But, you have Phoenix that's playing good basketball again. That's the problem, Scott. Golden State is playing good basketball. Lakers playing good basketball. Phoenix playing good basketball. Now the Sacramento Kings and the Pelicans, it's a little shaky. That's our problem.
Of the last 10 games for all of these 10 play-in playoff teams, every team has a winning record. The only team that doesn't is the Pelicans, who are 505-5. Kings are 6-4 in their last 10.
Right. But everybody else is playing well. And when you look at teams that say, okay, because I already told you the mentality of the two at the bottom, they're definitely championship or bust. But your mentality should be coming into the playoffs, we're healthy and we're playing good basketball. That's where you want to be.
No doubt. These Western Conference playoffs are going to be something like we haven't ever seen. This is going to be incredible. 1 through 10, we're in for a treat. We'll see where Sacramento stacks up. When we come back, we're going to break down Kings and Celtics. We'll get you to our injury report. Game night is always brought to you by National Garage Door. Call today for your basketball special, 916-638-4554. More game night right here, Sactown Sports 1140.
Okay, we are live on YouTube.
Kyle, let's get back to this Boston thing. I got a question for you.
Go for it.
Okay, this is how significant Drew Holiday is. Let's say, for example, Milwaukee didn't want to move Drew Holiday, and he stayed in Milwaukee, right?
Yes.
And then Dame went to Boston.
Okay.
Would they be the same team?
Let's say they give up the same package for Dame.
Same package.
Same package.
Would they be the same team?
That's tough. I would argue they would have fewer regular season wins, but they might be better equipped for the playoffs. And that's just out of respect for Dame and what he brings on offense, because we know Tatum's game is so much one-on-one, and he grinds down in the playoffs, and he got hurt at the end and things like that. And I think Dame would make his life so much easier on offense. We already know about the Jaylen Brown game, but
okay.
I understand your point, absolutely.
So I'm saying, with Dame being the end-all, be-all last year as far as players moving, that dude, Drew Holiday, still came in and made just as much or even a bigger splash than what Dame would have did on that exact same team.
Yes, and that I think is something that is true, is that we were talking so much about Dame and didn't acknowledge that, like, his game, he's not the same player he once was. He's not the top 7 player in the league anymore. And Drew Holiday didn't get the respect that he deserved. And they're probably closer to each other than people were willing to admit at the time.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't say Dame is not the same player he was. I think he is. It's just that he's not doing all the stuff that he had to do. In Portland, he had to shoot the ball that many times. So, yeah, your numbers are going to be up. You don't have to shoot the ball like that when you with the Greek Freak and the rest of this other basketball team.
But I think you're right. The impact that Drew Holiday has had on that Celtics team is immeasurable. And I didn't think it would be as dramatic a difference as it was, and have so much of it be, Drew Holiday's the reason why. Because Tatum's, as much as people want to put Tatum in the MVP.
All you have to do is say you're wrong. I mean, that's the bottom. Drew Holiday's an NBA champion. And like, what you need to explain to me is, how did the Bucks mess this up so badly? I mean, they had a championship team just 3 seasons ago. What are they doing?
I understand. Come on, we talked about this guy.
Yeah, it's all Giannis, right?
It's to keep your boy happy.
Right, but
because if you don't have him, you don't have nothing.
Exactly.
We say mess it up though, but
you don't have nothing. So they kept him happy. They didn't, sell the farm. They didn't blow everything up. Getting Dame there did help. It did help, but you had to lose something. And I'm gonna say this right here: you lost probably the most underrated guard in the league, and he went to Boston and he showed you exactly how important he is.
But we say mess it up, and at the beginning of the season, I remember we were all saying the same thing. It's going to be Bucks and Celtics. Bucks and Celtics. Those are the two best teams.
Well, right now they are.
I still believe that.
And Milwaukee could beat Cleveland in the second round, and we're there at Bucks Celtics. But so few people are giving the Bucks a chance in that
Why
series.
Would you?
But
they're 15-15 in their last 30
but
games.
That's
They've
where
been
I think
terrible.
in the playoffs, I think the Bucks are better built for success than the Celtics because they added Damian Lillard.
Wait. I won't say more than the Celtics. I will say in a 7-game series, they're beating everybody but Boston.
Yes, I think that's fair, but I think that series is closer than most people are giving the Bucks credit for. Like, I think we're looking at 6 and maybe 7 games in that Bucks-Celtics series.
It might, but I'll tell you what. The thing about it is that Milwaukee's going to get everybody but Boston. It's going to go to 7. It will be a dogfight.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk about this more after the people can't hear us, Henry. We're going to have to talk about this more off air.
Free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Welcome back to the game night right here, Sactown Sports, 1140, our final segment before we get you to Kings Live pregame. Jason Ross will be here for that. G-Man with the call tonight, 4:30 in Boston, as the Kings try to do something they haven't done since the 2021 season. That's defeat Boston. The Celtics have been on a roll against the Kings. It hasn't even been close of late.
Not even just the Kings, Scott. Let's keep
everybody.
It everybody.
Oh, yeah.
When you walk through the Boston Garden, you're going to have a problem.
There's no doubt they're 33-3 at home. I mean, they've got the best record.
Scott.
Yes.
Imagine that. 33-3. We're talking over 36 games, you only lost 3 at home.
No doubt. How about that 85-86 Celtics team that went 40-1 at home?
Wow.
In that championship year.
Championship, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then you talk about the dominance. If you're going to make a run and, get all the way to the mountaintop, having dominance like that definitely helps.
There's no question about that. And Boston has been dominant, and they blew out Sacramento in their lone appearance here. So Sacramento's going to have to try and turn that around. The Celtics, they killed the Kings behind the 3-point line. That's what they do. This is a great 3-point shooting team.
They're a good team, Scott. And I won't say great 3-point shooting team. They shoot threes and they knock them down. But then again, when they need some play inside, Porzingis gets it done for them down there. He's the unicorn.
Yeah.
They put him at that high post, and you're not stopping him with just a regular sized guy. You're going to have to pull one of your big men at there because Porzingis is great at getting that ball at that free throw line. And if you're 6'7", he's shooting a free throw over the top of you. Sure. That's bucket. It's barbecue chicken. So you got to bring a big guy. And when you do that, Boston has the wings. So the big guy guards Porzingis at the free throw line. You send those wings and Jalen and the rest of those guys. Now you got back cuts and dunks at the rim.
No doubt. It was 144-119 back here on December 20th when the Celtics took care of business against Sacramento Kings. Try to change that tonight. All right, let's get to the injury report for tonight. As we know, for Sacramento, it's staying the same. No Herter, no Monk tonight for the Kings. Everybody else ready to go. As for the Celtics tonight, Jaylen Brown was listed as questionable with his hand. Derek White was listed as questionable with his back. They have been updated. Both of them are out tonight.
Okay.
Obviously, 2 major pieces to their team. We talk about a big 4 for the Celtics. It's really been a big 5. It's almost unfair to leave Derek. It's almost unfair to leave Derek White out of that equation, isn't it? He's been so good this year. I mean, you could make a case he deserved to be an all-star.
True. And they have the ultimate team guys right now. Because before we looked at that team and we just said Tatum and Brown. Well, now you plug in some Porzingis, right? You plug in a White, what he does, And then you have Holiday. We just talked about, he's one of the most underrated guards in the league. And then you also have old man Al Horford. All of these guys are team guys. That's why this team is so good, because Tatum and Brown said, okay, we need help. You got help. They accept help, and they play well as a cohesive unit.
They do. And obviously Pritchard coming off the bench.
Pritchard plays well. Horford comes off the bench. He plays well.
Saucer. They've been fantastic.
All of those guys play well.
Yeah, no doubt. The Kings have their hands full tonight. There's absolutely no doubt about it. The injury report brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm, providing justice for you since 1975. If you're injured, call the Arnold Law Firm at 916-777-7777. It's the second of the 4-game road trip for the Kings. They go back to New York. They'll play Brooklyn on Sunday. They got out of town just in time. They lost to the Knicks. That's not like they got out of town well, but of course there was an earthquake today in the New York area.
Right, I've seen that. What's going on?
They have to take care of that one. I don't know, a 5.0 or 4.8.
Now, didn't we just have an earthquake here in Chico?
If we did, I didn't feel it. Kyle's saying yes, we did.
Yeah, we just had an earthquake here also. I didn't feel it.
Yeah.
I mean, we was here in the studio when it happened. It happened yesterday evening.
Oh, wow. Okay. I missed that one. That tells you how much.
We're used to this in California, but I bet some folks in New York was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, that's pretty rare for sure. But anyways, 4-game trip. We know there's 3 at home. Pelicans, Suns. You wrap up the year against the Trailblazers. Don't even want to get into that ultimate irony, Henry, if the Kings are in a must-win scenario and they have a Blazers team that has nobody on the roster. Wouldn't that be a fitting way for the Kings to end the year, playing a team they absolutely should beat at home completely undermanned? We won't go there. We don't have time to do it, but I want to get your thoughts with the Kings here with 6 games left. How many games do they have to win to get to the top 6? They're 44-32 right now. Do they need 4 more wins? Do they need 5 more wins? Do they need 6 more wins?
I feel like, Scott, they need every last win they can muster. Because right now, every win could help this team. Yeah. It's so tight that, one game can drop you from 6th to 10th.
Yep.
So right now, Kings need everything. Every night is a must win for them. And especially when you come down to those two, when you're talking about New Orleans and Phoenix, it's imperative you have those two.
Every game's not equal.
No, not at all.
No doubt. You beat New Orleans and Phoenix, and you feel like, okay, maybe you only have to win 4. If you don't win either one of those games, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's fair. All right, let's focus in on tonight, the couple minutes we have left. What do you see as some of the keys tonight in Boston?
I mean, it's tough. You lost to New York, but it's over with. It's over with. It's done. You have a new mountain to climb, and you're going to have to bring the energy. You're going to have to bring the effort. Guess what? It's still the exact same league. The refs aren't calling ticky-tacks. Mm-hmm. You're playing another aggressively styled team. You're going to have to be able to create contact and be able to take contact. So it's almost like rinse and repeat. You better get ready, because this is going to be another hard-fought game.
No question. What do you do against Jason Tatum, who's probably not going to win the MVP, but certainly will get votes?
You try to make it hard on him. Jason Tatum is a very good young player. He can get it done 3 different ways on 3 different levels. You make it hard on him. Do you start off double teaming him? I wouldn't. I would try to make it hard as I possibly could on him. And if he starts killing you, then you stun double team. But until then, stay home and just make it tough.
Who guards the unicorn?
Keegan.
Ooh. Then who gets Tatum?
Harrison.
Keegan.
Yeah, Keegan. No. I'll put Keon on him.
Okay.
I would put Keon on him.
Ooh. Well, obviously the matchups are tough. The Kings are going to have to pull off something that would be pretty special, because we know how good Boston is. That's going to do it for Game Night. High Flyers, always great to work with you, and we'll be back here in studio on Sunday.
It's been a blast.
It's been fun. It's been fast, and it's been a blast. All right, coming up next, Kings Live pregame. Jason Ross is here with the High Flyer. They'll stay the entire way. G-Man with the call tonight. Keep it tuned here all evening long. We've got you covered. Kings and Celtics from Beantown. Kings basketball right here. Sactown Sports, 1140.
Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away.